Hello, crafty friends. My name is Alicia, but as always, you can call me Crafty Al, and welcome to today's live stream. I am so glad that you are here. If you are here with me live, make sure you're over in the live chat and have it on live chat or all comments, just so you're seeing the latest messages. And don't forget to let me know where you're watching from as you come in. Now, if you are watching this live and you want to get in on the polls that I do or chat with other viewers, and at the end, enter to win the card giveaway, make sure to subscribe if you're not already. I do have that chat box set to subscribers only just to help me with admin, like making sure we don't get any mean people in here or trolls, because if they're going to subscribe, I guess they deserve to leave me a bad message, right? If you are here on replay, let me know that as well down in that comment section below. Let me know where you're watching from and include the hashtag replay. Before I get started today, I do have a shout out here to do. Welcome to membership, Dixie Dexter.
Thank you very much.
And welcome to all of my channel members who are in the chat with us today. If you're ever interested in finding out more about the perks of channel membership, you can click the join button below this video, or there's a link in the description box. So my members, they help keep Sheetload of Cards free for all. And they've also allowed me to put in less mid-roll ads on my videos. So thank you very much to my members. I forgot to ask, I know you can't see me when that intro video is going, but I'm always like over here doing a little dance. Let me know if you're kind of dancing in your chair or wherever you're at as you watch that intro over there in the chat. I want to go ahead and go. Yes. Oh, look, Rachel. Rachel will be a 3-year member in August. Yes, she is one of my OG channel members. All right, let's go to overhead. So for today's Let's Get Crafty Live, it was one that we had talked about when I was live Monday. I shared happy half sheets with a stamped half sheet, which I guess these are the ones we made Monday. If you want to see either of these videos, check out my happy half sheet playlist. But as I was creating these, I wanted to know if viewers were interested in seeing me use pattern paper with the happy half sheets. And if you don't know what those are, it is a new product that Tailored Expressions is sharing. I am on their design team, but I did pay for these myself because I love the concept, me and a sketch, right? So they are laminated cards, which I'll show you one here. They're laminated cards that give you a cutting guide for a half sheet and then the layout for each card. So I thought I would come back because I want to see them too used with pattern paper. So I have a poll that I want my live viewers here to help me with. Before I got on camera today, I went through my pattern paper stash. And I have a lot of kits like these, or big paper pads that have a theme and different pattern papers. And whenever I have like scraps, like with this one, I just put them either right in the pad or back in the package. If you do this as well, throw a number 5 over in the chat box. So what I did is I went through my pattern papers and I picked out some pieces that would be large enough, because remember, you need a half a sheet at least to make your cards. So that's 8.5 by 5.5. So I went through and oh, yay, lots of you here keep your pattern paper scraps. Love it. So I went through and I picked out some that would be large enough for an 8.5 by 5.5 piece. So first of all, we have these bees. Now, I did tell you the other day when we were stamping our half sheet, I mentioned how you want to rotate your stamping, because sometimes you have to rotate the pieces for the cards. Well, you'll see here that all of my pattern papers do have a direction. So I did have to pick out some cards that we wouldn't be twisting the pieces. Otherwise, our bees might be flying upside down or sideways on those final cards. So we have the bees. I thought this was a fun one for birthday. This one I just liked. I have no idea if this will look good or not, chopped up and put on cards, but I grabbed it. And then finally, I got out a little holiday one for a Christmas in July theme. So what I'm going to do is lay these out here. And I want you guys, you are going to help me decide which pattern papers we'll use today. And then in a little bit, you're going to help me decide which layout or which cards we're going to make. So again, make sure that you do get subscribed if you're not already, which by the way, I mentioned it on Monday, but I am hoping to get to 40,000 subscribers, 40,000 lovely crafty friends by the end of July. So I need, look at this, since Monday, I need 265. So if just one in every 100 or so of you invites a friend, I'll make my goal. So keep my fingers crossed. Let's go ahead. Okay. Let's go ahead and start that poll. So here we go. I just had it go live in the chat box. So you do have to be here live with us and a subscriber so you can do the poll. But just let me know which one you would like to see me use. And I'm going to give you a couple minutes to decide on that. And then I'll lay out the, oh wait, you know what? Let's do this. Then I will, hold on, I'm going to go back overhead so you can see them. Then I will lay out the possibilities for the cards and let you vote on those as well. Cindy, I like your enthusiasm and your positivity. I hope so. I hope I can make it. If not, I'll probably hit it in August. But, you know, I like to have a celebration when I hit big milestones. So bees, birthday, Christmas in July, or paint strokes. I did kind of ahead of time pre-pick out some sentiments or some, you know, die cut accents. But I will, when you guys are voting on which card I use, I'm going to work on getting out some cardstock to match these, whichever one wins. Okay, we got about a minute left. After you vote, let me know if you're crafting along today, if you're just hanging out and watching us, if you're working. Do it on the down low, but let me know what if you're crafting along. Let me know too if you've ordered any happy half sheets. I know many of you have said that you have. All right, we're almost, time is almost up. Oh. Beck and Sam working on their craft roulette cards today. Must be, it's not Patreon anymore, but must be a fan of theirs to not have had it in by Sunday night. Ruth is listening while working. Okay, good, Ruth. Oh, there it is. Oh, welcome, Cherie. Hopefully it's Sherry or Cherie. So glad that you're here for your first live stream. That brings me to a really good point. If this is also your first time catching me live, let me know and put a 1 over there in that live chat. Or maybe, I guess I should be pointing that way. Sorry, everything's backward. Let me know by putting a 1 over there so we can all say hi. Okay, the timer ended, so let's end our poll. All right, which one will we be working with? All right, with 46% of the vote, I kind of thought this might be it. We are going to be working with the bees. All right. Oh, yes. Kelly, it's her first time. Jean's Paper Jewels. Awesome. Paula, yay. So glad. Oh, Pam. Pam ordered her happy half sheets. Awesome. I hope they get there quickly. Tailored Expressions shipping is usually pretty fast. I know, though, when they have a new release, it, you know, maybe gets delayed by a day, but they are pretty quick. All right. Now, so this is the pattern paper we'll be using. Now, let me get out the cards that I chose. So Monday, I used the original Happy Half Sheet cards, and, you know, they're nice, laminated for durability. And today, we are going to use Happy Half Sheet Volume 2. And again, I pre-chose 3 of the cards that would have cards that didn't have the pattern paper being turned for the final cards. So I will show you these, and then I will put up a poll. So this will be number 1. We will stamp, we won't stamp the half sheet, but I'll cut a half sheet of pattern paper, then cut it down for 4 cards. Now, even though this is, of course, Christmas or holiday themed, it doesn't mean you have to make Christmas or holiday themed cards with whatever you do. All right. So this will be 1. Number 2 would get us 4 cards as well. That one's kind of fun there. And number 3. These could be a little tricky, friends. All right. So let me know. Let's see. You know what? Here, we'll just go like this. That way it'll be easy to keep them in order. And let me start a poll. Do we want 1, 2, or 3? Oops. All right, and I'll give you 2 minutes to get your vote in. Remember, we're not going to comment with the vote. I know that's that was a little confusing, but I used to try having people comment, but I could never actually count it live. So doing the poll here, it actually takes care of answering it for me. Oh, one thing I do want to point out here, it is scrolling across the bottom of the screen, but if you do have a question specifically for me, make sure to either tag me by, if you're on a laptop or a desktop, by typing in @CallMeCraftyOwl, and then it'll pop up a little box where you can click on my name and it highlights it for me, or type question in all caps in front of your comment, because when I go over here to look at my screen, it's easier for me to see those. And then when I do have time to pause and chat a little bit more, because when I get crafty, I get kind of focused, I will answer those first. So please go ahead. If you have a question, type question in all caps. While you're voting, which you have about a minute left, I am going to try to pick out some papers, some cardstocks to go with the colors here. This might be one of those tricky ones. Because I think, well, let's try to match that yellow. Lemon meringue is what we used the other day, so I don't want to use that again. I kind of like that cinnamon with it for my card bases. Let's try cinnamon for our card bases. So I won't be using ink today, but I do like to pull it out so when I go get my pattern paper later, it's easier to remember. And then I want to try to find something for my sentiments that kind of matches this darker yellow. All right, comments. Kelly says, how do I get in on this? Kelly, I'm not sure what you mean. If you want to clarify, and yeah, just do that question in front of it again. That really helps me find it. Thank you. If you're referring to how do you get the happy half sheets, I do have links down in the description box below. And Nightbot is my AI chat helper. Will also put some links up, which I did just see. Nightbot shared this. So if you watch my Crafty Advent series last December, which if you did, put in Crafty Advent over on the chat. every day I opened up 3 different crafty advent calendars and we created a tag live with it. I gave away all of the tags at the end, one each day. And then I also gave away the advent calendars. Well, I want to do that series again this December. And all these advent calendars, they come out way before like Christmas. And just, let's see, yesterday, Tailored Expressions did put their advent calendars for pre-order, which is the only way you can guarantee yourself getting one. If you order, I think it's by July 23rd, you save $10 and you get a free gift with your shipment. Now, they will have a few later that you can purchase, but they will go up in price. So if you want to get in and craft along with me or open along with me each day, you'll probably want to get it pre-ordered so you can guarantee yourself one. And let's hide that. All right. Yay, lots of you. We're here for the crafty advent. Love it, love it, love it. Catherine wants to know, is $89 price after? No, they will go up to $99 later on and you won't get that free gift. All right. I want to vote. So Kelly, it was a poll in the chat. Everybody which you're chatting here with us, so that means you're subscribed. You would have just clicked on whichever one you wanted to vote for. So I think you can do that from tablets and laptops or desktops. All right. Oh, yes. Darcel has a very good point. Yes, please give this video your stamp of approval by giving it a thumbs up, sharing it with a crafty friend. It always helps me find new subscribers. Maybe it'll help me reach that 40,000, right? I'm not doing very good at picking out my cardstock, but let's go ahead and go back overhead and we will end the poll. All right, let's see which one won. That was pretty, oh, sorry, I thought I saw 91%. That's my old eyes. So with 51% of the vote, we're going to be doing card number 2. All right. Like I mentioned the other day, so the front or this side, I don't know if you want to call it the front or the back, has the layouts for the cards, and they give you a different color palette to try. So you might want to try one of those. On the other side are the cutting dimensions. And when I'm cutting, I will leave this off screen because kind of like with a sheetload of cards, I want you to watch my video to find out how to download the printable to get like the cutting dimensions and all that stuff. Well, Tailored Expressions wants you to buy the cards to get those cutting dimensions. So I will keep those off camera just to keep those proprietary to them. But then when I go to put my cards together, then I will bring the card back on screen and we'll try to work those out together. All right. Let's see. Okay. Now let's go ahead and try to get back to finding a yellow or an orange. It kind of goes with that. Oh, what's this behind here? What's this hiding? Ooh. Look, I think it's perfectly named. It's called Honey. We're going to go with that. And I don't know, maybe I'll use that for my card bases. Let me get out the Cinnamon and Honey cardstock, which I had some questions the other day about how I store my my cardstock. So here's what I do, and I just have it in alphabetical order. On my key ring, or on that ring, it's in color order. And then it's just easy for me to pull these by alphabet. And then also I had some questions on my ink pad storage. Love this thing. But let me find which colors I want. So we got cinnamon. And what did I just say? Honey, 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 honey. All right. So, okay, I actually think I might we might have to do another poll, you guys. But let me grab a sheet of each of these. While I'm doing that, I see K Motto has a question. Kristen, why are they called half sheets? Is it because you use a 6x12? It's actually not 6x12. It's supposed to be a half sheet of cardstock because like you're supposed to stamp your own. So it's a half sheet of 8.5 by 11. And it is actually, this frame here is the, sorry, yeah. So half of 8.5 by 11 is 8.5 by 5.5. That's why they call it a half sheet. So on the back are the dimensions. So it is printed at that size. That's a good question. Oh, here, look, I always try to keep my scraps with, you know, in with their cardstock. I'm not sure where that orange came from. I mean, I'm sure it was me. Let's see. Okay. And I just saw Kristen said, what about white? Let me see here. Just, I was trying to go, there's a lot of card base showing on many of these. So I was trying to go with something, you know, to give it extra color. All right, so let me tell you the colors. This is honey, cinnamon, and white, guys. So I'm going to do another poll. Sorry about all this. Hopefully you guys enjoy helping me decide things because I honestly don't know today. And sometimes if you're a little bit further away, you know, if you're watching it on camera, you might have a better idea of what looks good. So let's start that poll. And let me know. This would be for the card base. And then I will use one for like my sentiment and maybe a backer behind it. I don't know quite yet. The only thing I do know is, oh, you know what? That's why I didn't want to do white. Because I have this die that has these little hexagon shapes. That's right. I was going to cut that out of white because in this paper, there are some of those shapes. So keep that in mind if you're thinking about choosing white. I forgot to start the timer. After you vote, let me know if you enjoy helping me make decisions or if you just want me to decide. And the other day too, I want to show you. So here's a card from the other day, which it was similar to this one, but it wasn't chopped apart. And I did end up putting a mat to help it stand out. And some I've just put border strips. I might do that on some too. So we could maybe see more than one cardstock on there. Oh, yay. All right. Lori loves the polls. Becky loves being part of the process. I don't know. Lying is fun. I have an idea. Maybe autocorrect did something there. Hopefully, I mean, sometimes a little white lie is fun, but Lisa likes to contribute. Allison likes the polls. Awesome. Yay. Great. Good. Because I don't want it to be like a job for you, right? I'm the one who's having to do work here. All right, we got about 30 seconds left, and then I'll stop the polls. I am going to have to do some math on the fly today, for instance, to figure out if I want to mat this, what size it will have to be. So you might have to bear with me on that one. Still more liking the polls. Yay. All right, 7 seconds, guys. Get those votes in. Oh, wait, hold up. Oh, Polly, I think, probably maybe just renewed her channel membership. Yes, she has been with me for over a year, according to her little icon. Thank you, Polly, for renewing.
Thank you very much.
And the poll is over. So let's go ahead and find out. Oh, guys, So I have to end the poll on this screen over here. And it's about the second time that I've clicked like end stream or stop live instead of going over to my screen. So if I accidentally turn off the live after a poll, please forgive me. All right, let's go ahead and see what won. All righty. Oh, Kristen! Kristen just became a member. Thank you so much, Kristen.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Love it. I hope you enjoy your perks. Make sure to check out the membership tab. You'll get all of the latest links. Okay, so what won? What won? With four, you know, it was pretty close between these two, but with 47% of the vote, cinnamon won. That was actually my original until, you know, I found the honey. So what I'm going to do now, we'll get some card bases ready from this, and then we'll start cutting down our pattern paper. All right. So for the card that you guys chose, we have 3 that are vertical or portrait and 1 that's landscape or horizontal. It might be just me. You'll have to let me know, but I love a top fold card. So I want 3 that fold on the 4 1/4 inch edge and 1 that folds on the 5 1/2 inch. Let me know over in the chat if you prefer top fold or side fold cards. Carmen says honey will be good for mats. I agree. And then, oh, I missed it. Kristen said she wasn't a cinnamon fan, but I bet I'll be proven wrong. I'll be honest with you, Kristen, when that was the brown that kind of matched, I wasn't too crazy about it either. But I really think that we're going to end up liking it. So what I'm going to do is, this isn't going to be the best, but I have to get out 3 pieces of my cinnamon. Yeah, I don't have a scrap for another card base. So 3 pieces of my cinnamon cardstock. 2 of these I'm going to cut for the top fold vertical. So we have those 2 halves. I see a lot of you like the side folds. I know that some people like those better because if you have top fold like that, it might like flatten out. Okay, so that got us 4 card bases, but we only need 3. So I'm going to save this for later. And just like I shared the other day, it is going to go right back in to my little clear holder here. And then from that 3rd piece, I'm going to cut it in half this way at 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. And I will do the same thing with this, save it for later. I'm going to put my trimmer away for now. We will have to do some cutting later for mats, but I want to go ahead and make my card bases, which all of Tailored Expressions cardstock is on the heavier side. So I like to score it before I fold it so I don't get any cracking. So my little mini Scor-Buddy is perfect for this. I like to do usually about 3 scores to make sure it's nice and deep in there. And then I'll do 5 1/2 for this one. Do you score your cardstock or do you just go ahead and fold? Let us know over there. And one thing, like I did mention, you know, if you need my attention, which let me put it back up, because this is when it gets super important. If you do need my attention now that I am crafting, make sure to type question in all caps. But if it is just a general crafty question, there are so many knowledgeable crafters over in the chat that you could just kind of ask each other. Somebody can probably answer it. But if it's, yeah, something specific that I'm doing or using, just go ahead and put question in all caps or tag me, which you just start typing in at Call Me Crafty Al. And if you're on a desktop or a laptop, it will bring up a box where you can click on my name. That's the easiest for me to see because it like highlights it, but either will work. So now I have my card bases, the 3 top fold and the one that goes like that. Now, oh, not only do I have to cut mats, but I have to cut my pattern paper, you guys. All right. Let's see. Tina usually scores. Susan always scores and burnishes. Rhonda just go ahead and folds. Usually ends up uneven. You know what? Sometimes even with my score pal, mine end up uneven. But you can kind of wiggle it and make it work. Okay, so we don't need this full sheet, right? We need 5.5 by 8.5. So what I'm going to do first is cut it to 8.5 inches wide. And that way I just have that biggest scrap possible left over on the side to use later. Maybe we'll use it on the inside too. And then I'm going to cut this to 5.5. So this is going to be our half sheet that we're going to make our cards out of. So if you look on the back, which I'm going to cover up most of the measurements, it is the size of this print. So if you did not want to use the measurements, worry about that, you could go in and make pencil marks where you should cut. That is totally up to you. But I'm just going to set that off to the side as I cut. Put the corner there. And I just start cutting. Sometimes I use the marks on the left of my trimmer. Sometimes I use the marks on the right. Kind of depends how big the measurement is. But I do want to make sure that these patterns kind of flow. And then this one should be 3 inches. Okay. So these are for cards 3 and 4. This piece here is going to make up cards 1 and 2. So this needs a little bit more cutting. And yes, I get kind of quiet when I cut because some of these are particular, like those were 1 3/8 and a little bit harder to cut for me. Ooh, some of these are itty bitty, you guys. All right, that is probably the last one I'm going to be able to hold my pattern paper with my fingers. So what I'm going to do is, whoops, bring in my Scotch removable tape and get a new piece, but you can keep using this as long as it's sticky. And once I get this lined up with my measurement, I'm going to hold it in place with this instead of my fingers because they're going to get in the way here. So I get that lined up where I want to cut it, and I'm going to hold it right there and then slice. And this tape just comes right off without ruining anything, and it can totally be used for stuff later, which let me cut these down because I might need that same thing. And then I just put this on my die cutter to use when I cut my dies. I see Susan has a question. So Susan is an example of someone who has tagged me. You'll see here at the beginning, it says @CallMeCraftyAl. And over on my screen, it has a red highlight behind my name. So it's super easy to see. Sorry, I came in late. Hey, you're here right in time. We're just starting to get crafty. Can you tell me where the adorable paper came from? Let me go over real quick. I only brought in a couple of the packages. I'll be right back. All right. So I did talk earlier about how I just grabbed out some pattern paper or scrapbooking kits that I have, and in the back I keep my scraps, and I just chose some from different collections that had scraps big enough. This is, let's see, it's by Photoplay Paper, which I love their pattern paper. Photoplay Papers, Tulla and Norbert's Sweet as Honey. Lots of just cute bee pattern papers, or even like stickers and cut aparts. I don't know if that's available anymore. After the live stream, I will go back in and add in like colors of cardstock I used and other tools and stuff. If I can find that, I will link it up, but I don't know how old it is. This has probably been in my stash for a couple of years. Okay, now we have all our pieces, which I'll show you quickly here. We have our 4 squares, our little strips, and then those for our final cards. I want to make sure I keep everything together, and especially like these, the order the pattern goes in from top to bottom. Let's set these off to the side. Welcome. So glad you're here. I love how the crafty community is international. I love seeing people from other countries and continents, even states, really. Thanks for being here. All right. Okay, so I know my name, I'm not tagged in this, but I did just see Susan might have to go abruptly because her boss might walk in. Yes, Susan, please do not get in trouble. Okay, I'm going to now I can bring my happy half sheet back in as I start to put these together. So this top one, I would like to put a mat on it, okay? But now what I have to try to figure out, because it's not just a square that I have to mat, I have to worry about adding in dimensions for that inner little part. So guys, I'm going to try to do this on the fly. But I'm going to bring in some scraps of the honey to do the matting and any border strips I might want. Don't know what size it has to be yet. So let's see. Okay, this original square was 2 3/4. So to get just a border around 2 3/4, it'd have to be 3, but then I need to add an 1/8. So I need a square that is 3 1/8 inches. Let's try that and see if I got it figured out. And yes, I do need a top fold card base. Okay, so let's see if this is big enough. That's probably not big enough for, oh, it's 3. Okay, so I'm going to try this, you guys. Hopefully my quick math is mathing. Okay, I think that's it. Let's see. Did my math okay? I think it did, guys. So we're going to put those on there first. And normally, you know me, I love my ATG, which if you love yours too and need refills, down toward the bottom of my description box in my supply list, I have a coupon code to save at Tape Jungle. Okay. But, where's my... Because the ATG, you know, once you stick it down, it's pretty set. And these, I might need to adjust the border. I'm going to bring in my Barely Art liquid glue, which was a gift from my friend Karen. And I'm going to use this instead. I need to get this started just so I have a little wiggle time if I need it, right? I just looked over and someone said, good one, Cheryl, so I had to find it. Cheryl says, math is the bee's knees. Yes, when I have time, I don't mind mathing. All right, so I'm going to put some liquid glue on the back of these squares. And I'm going to do my best to get this about 1/8 of an inch in on the left and the top. And I'm not going to press it really hard right now. Same thing down here, and I'm going to try to use that top one to line it up. Okay, you know what? Here, I said I wasn't going to press it down hard, and then I did. We all love the oops sound effect. Again, just trying to get that outside border even. And guys, I think I've done it. I think I did okay. Oh, I'm getting sidetracked here. I just saw the Crafty Visage. Sorry, hopefully I didn't butcher that. Visage. Loves her ATG. I just watched AGT last night. Loves her ATG. She has the red original one before they made the pinks. We'll check this one out. Let me reach over here. So this was my original one too, and it actually is one of the red ones, and you can kind of see some chipping on the handle. It was a red one, but I love fall. And when I got this, I had my husband spray paint it that dark green, and I added ribbons and rub-ons to it. So I have the original OG red one too. It's kind of like my backup if the other one runs out while I'm crafting. Okay, not perfect, but I think that's pretty close. And now I'm going to bring this in. And we're going to put it, I'm going to close up my glue before it gets dry. It's going to go at, oops, I can't, sorry, my logo's there. It's going to go at the top with kind of a even border on the top and the sides. Carmen's got a question. She wants to know, do I have an affiliate link to scrapbook.com? I do, Carmen. Down in the description box underneath my related products, it has some stores and my affiliate links, and scrapbook.com should be in there, which brings me to a great point. Thank you for asking, Carmen. If you ever do want to shop and some of your favorite creators have shared products from different stores, reach out or look and see if they have those affiliate links. It doesn't cost you anything extra when you're going to place that order, but then we get a little credit for it. So thank you for checking on that, Carmen. Let's see. While I'm over here, Tina has a question. Do you prefer the Barely Art glue over the Art Glitter glue now that you have tried it? Honestly, I like them both. Yeah, I think they're pretty much the same thing. But one thing I have noticed with the Barely Art glue is the dry time, which just might be a good thing, is a little bit longer. So it wiggles more. It doesn't get tacky as quickly. So when I'm putting down gems and stuff, I do have to be a little careful because it stays wet a little longer. But really, I enjoy them both. Oh. Carmen says, so if you want this paper, use Crafty as affiliate link. Thank you, Carmen. Yes, I would love that. Yeah, if you click on scrapbook.com and then go and search for Tulla and Nobert, yes, and that would help me. You don't have to use the products that the crafter's using if you just want to shop at that store. You know, like if I share something from Spellbinders and you don't want what I use, but you want something different from Spellbinders, yes, please use my link. I love that. And Spellbinders is really good to be affiliated with. They really do take care of us and care about their creators. Okay, I'm getting really sidetracked today, you guys. All right. So this one, I will use my ATG just because I love it. And I always like to flip my stuff around. Not sure why, but I put on a lot of stuff upside down. And like I said, I'm going to try to get even borders on the outside, and when I think it's pretty good, then I'm going to go ahead and press it in place. So just like that. And then we have card number 1. The base is done, but we'll decorate these later. Let's see. Susan says, have I tried the glue precision press? No. I have heard, like, my friend Danny of Danny's Dreams loves it. And I know, like, she has some issues with her wrist, and lots of people do, and they seem to love that thing. For me, since right now my wrists are okay, I'm not going to spend that money because it is pricey. But you know what? The Misty was pricey too, but it ended up being one of the best investments I have made with my crafty money. So you'll have to let us know. Oh my goodness. Hold on. Becky, you can't see it, but Becky has just upgraded to paper trimmer level membership.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Becky. I appreciate that. So you'll get some extra perks now that you've upgraded. Thank you. I am not getting much done today. Okay, I thought I saw some more questions. No, somebody just said good question. All right, yeah. If you do have that precision glue press and you're here watching, let everybody know what you think about it if you have enjoyed it. So it's always good to get some real life referrals, right? All right. Oh, there we go. Susan says she absolutely loves hers and it's easier on her arthritic hands. Yes, I have heard that many times, that it's very handy with that. Okay, now let's move on to number 2. So this could be fun. This could be fun. We're going to do a top fold again. And I don't always bring in my T ruler because, you know, if it's not straight, it doesn't, you know, affect or bother me that much. But I think to get started, because there are all those little pieces, there's my hair, all those little pieces, I think I am going to try to get that first one lined up kind of carefully. Ugh, okay, so this is just a clear T ruler, and I can put the edge of the card. There's a lip right there, just right against that. I have to think about what I want to do. I think I want to go kind of put it underneath where I want the piece to go and bring in these pieces, which I got a little bit out of order. Definitely using liquid glue on this one. Okay. So now I'm going to make sure that the lip is right up against the edge. And I'm going to put my piece of pattern paper above it and try to kind of follow the placement there. Ooh, might get it glued to me before I get it glued down. So go down a little further. I'm just going to kind of move this down till I think it is got kind of a good border on the top. I'm going to move it over just a little bit, and then I'm going to make sure it's right up against that ruler. Oh no, it slipped underneath there. All right. I don't know if that helps me any, but it makes me feel better. Yeah, that looks a little crooked, you guys. Oh, and one thing that, you know, like I matted this one, but I'm not even going to try on this because I might lose my mind if I try to figure out exactly where all those pieces go. But we're just going to put it right on the background. And don't look, it is not perfect, but as we talked the other day, crafts or cards don't always have to be perfect, right? And I will continue to use my liquid glue on these pieces, just again for that wiggle time. And I'm going to do my best to kind of line up the left edge and then keep this opening consistent between each of the pieces as I get those added. All right. All right, guys, we're not going to say it's perfect, but look at that. All of the pieces are in place. And here's the sketch that goes with it. I kind of like the varied height of those strips. Okay, card number 3 is another top fold. And this one, we have the 2 pieces on the outside and then 1 in the middle. What I'm going to do, because I want to put some border strips on these, is I'm going to add the center one first. Try to get that as centered as possible. Again, going to use my liquid glue just for wiggle time. And I'm going to turn it around, but I got to make sure my pattern paper is going the correct way. And try to get that centered left to right. Should probably be using a centering ruler or something. Okay. That looks pretty good. Now, before I move on to put the other pieces in place, I'm going to get right this out and bring in, let's see, one of my scraps of honey. Now, this is definitely longer than 5.5 inches, but that way I don't have to line it up exactly. So I'm just going to cut, let's see. I'm trying to think here. I don't know, like I don't know if I want to put one next to everything. I think right now I'm just going to cut 4, and I want to show you my idea. But I'm going to cut some 1/4 inch strips. No, that is not the size I wanted. I wanted 1/8 of an inch. Let's try that again. So 1/8 of an inch strips. I think if I did 6, it's going to be too much. Let's see what this looks like. So I'm definitely going to put some on both edges of this one. And to do that, I'm just going to run a little a thin line of glue right up next to that pattern paper. And because they are longer than I need, I don't have to worry about getting it perfect on one end. I can just make sure that it flows over both, you know, that it goes beyond the ends of both the top and the bottom. I really now am liking the honey and the cinnamon together. Let me know what you guys think. You know, it's a little bit of a definition, but it's not too bold or too contrasting. So I'm going to just butt those right up against those and let them dry. Now what I'm thinking is, so I'm going to put, let's see, I'm going to put these, but instead of putting them like another left and right border on this, I was just thinking of doing one on the outside. So like that. Okay. The other option is just to leave it without anything. You know, just have the borders on the middle one and nothing on the outside. You know what, guys? It's time for another poll. Okay. Let me know, do you want an outside mat or no mat? That's what it's going to be. And remember, I will put a poll up over here. An outside or none. Okay. So I'm going to start that poll. So just an outside strip or no strip. Let me know what you think. Susan says, is there an option to push them in without the base showing? You could definitely do that. I'm going to try to stick more with the sketch today, but yes, you could definitely give that a try. Once that we know what the winner is, I will show you what that looks like, Susan, okay? Okay, got about another minute to get that vote in. Don't forget, if you're here watching live but you're not already subscribed, if you want to be in on the polls or in on the card giveaway later, make sure to click on that subscribe button. And that's going to allow you access to chat and to the polls and all that good stuff. Well, oh, here, we got it here. Welcome to Linda. Glad you're here. We are voting right now on if we want a border on the outside or no border at all, if you want to vote. All right, 2 seconds, you guys. All right, let's find out what won. All right, with 69% of the vote, we're going to do one on the outside. I will, though, show you guys. So that's what it would look like if we push them together, which honestly, that isn't too bad either. I kind of like that. But I do just want today for this set a little bit of that cinnamon poking out. But I do like that as well. And then just make sure as you're building your cards that you are keeping the pattern, especially like here where it does flow in just one way, that you keep your pieces on. Oh, goodness, no. I like that one so much, I subconsciously started doing that. That is why some liquid glue is always good. Okay. Now for the strips, we'll do the same thing. Just put a little line of glue close to that. Susan says, yes, be aware of the direction of the paper. Ask her how she knows. Isn't that how most of us learn? We're like, oh no. And then the next time you do something, you're like, I definitely have to remember not to do that. Yes. I've learned many crafty things and life things that way. Oh, Susan, you didn't make me stick in the wrong spot. Yeah, that was all my doing. Because I did like it that way. Maybe next time I'll try that. Don't forget, if you are enjoying the Happy Half Sheets, to check out the description box, and I have links so you can find out more. I think each set has 5 laminated cards that give you, you know, the cutting dimensions and the layouts, and I think it's $7 for a set. Oh, now I read the rest of Susan's message. Half of Winnie the Pooh ended up upside down. All right, so now that is done, and after those strips have dried, all I have to do now is just trim those right off. Oh, yes. Thank you, Susan, for the reminder. I haven't got to say it. If you have not yet given the video a thumbs up, maybe share it with a crafty friend, family member, coworker. That would be greatly appreciated. Let's see where we're at now. There are 82 people watching and 64 thumbs up. So I would appreciate a like if you haven't given it one yet. And if you're not yet subscribed and you're watching, I hope that you'll be inspired to subscribe so you can join me for more lives and get in on the polls and the giveaways. All right, so there is that, guys. And finally, let's see, we have our landscape card. Oh, I should have cut more of those strips when I was doing that. Totally didn't think about it. Because our landscape card, we put the sections at the top and the bottom. Ooh, guys. Oh, didn't even think about that. So, I even told you, oh no, I was not thinking right. So I told you earlier that I tried to pick cards and pattern papers that didn't have to be turned, right? But guys, this last card, the pieces do have to be turned. So that's going to look a little bit weird, I think, right? So we're going to make it work. I am rotating the sketch, so it will look a little bit different than there, but Happy Half Sheets are also kind of like sheet loads of cards where make it your own. So we're going to, and I guess I could have made a top fold card, which you know what? I have that other base. So I'm going to save this and bring back in that other half sheet that we cut. I'm going to do a top fold on this one as well. I thought I was being so careful. Pam has a question while I'm folding this. How is the glue charm attached to your pin? So this is, oh, sorry, let me hide that. This is the pin that came with the bottle, and I made my own glue charm, and it is on there. I don't know if you can see it, just with an earring back. And then there's a little lobster claw clasp that I just clipped right in there. This definitely helps me find my glue bottle pin. I used to lose it all the time. And then, let's see. Sorry, I had an itchy eye. Susan wants to know, how is your number tally going? Did it get jinxed? No, Susan, right at the beginning, I shared I got to move this from 39,725 to 39,735. So it did go up a little bit since we were here Monday. Carmen says she loves portrait cards over landscape, so this is a great mistake. Yes, a little happy accident, right? All right, let's go back overhead. Oh, no. Oh, do not want to lose. I always try to put this right back because I don't want to lose it. And now I'm going to get this added on the edges. So okay, this is gonna, I just wanted to make sure this was right, the correct edge. So this is gonna go on the left side, and I'm gonna align it at the top and the side edge. Now, if when you added that, you saw your card base was a little too long for the pattern paper, just snip that right off. Just trim that off. Okay, so now we're almost done with that, but I need to bring back in my trimmer. Bring that back in, and we are going to cut some more 1/8 inch strips of the honey cardstock. This is my favorite trimmer, but if I don't open it up, it doesn't always cut all the way through. I think the platform kind of gives a little bit. So I did have to cut that a couple times. These on, same as the last card. Put a little line of glue there, and then I just bump these right up against the pattern paper. I'm gonna let that dry for a minute. I did want to show those of you who joined me the other day when I did the happy half sheet that I stamped. I didn't get to show on camera like finishing the front with some sparkle and decorating the inside. So I do want to show you how I did those. So while that dries, so I made my, I think it was 5 cards on Monday. I did add some sparkly gems there. I thought it matched some of the reddish pink stamped sections. Here I did it right on the vellum circle. And then on the inside, I added a white piece of cardstock for the personal message, and I added one of the images from the front, but I stamped it in that blueberry because I love yellow and blue together. And so here is the other one, and just show you the landscape or horizontal version there. And one of my cards will be on its way to Karen C very shortly. Just like Monday, at the end of today's live, I will pick somebody to win one of my cards from today. And I might have to like do some of the finishing off screen, but you'll see most of it. Okay, now we can cut off that excess. So let's take a look at our cards. Not quite finished, but we have the the main card fronts put together, and I forgot to put my pin back in my glue bottle, so I'm going to do that now. So we have card 1, card 2, card 3, and card 4 here. And now we're going to decorate those guys. So I want to be able to send these for like any occasion. So my favorite thing to do is like hello, you know, or like just a note. I wish I had some kind of like bee sentiment that was, you know, all purpose, but it might take me too long to find it. So what I'm going to use for today is this stamp from Tailored Expressions. You stamp it, and then I have a die that goes with it also. And I shared this earlier, but I have this kind of hexagon honeycomb die from My Favorite Things that I'm going to cut maybe 2 of, and then I'll trim them down a little bit for the final cards. Yay. Now we need to figure out I think I'm going to go with the honey ink for my sentiments, just to bring in, you know, bring in some of that darker shade and to go with some of the matting and the borders that I've done. But before I do that, I'm going to get a drink, guys. Okay. You know what? Let's stamp the sentiment first, and then I'll bring in the die cutter, and we'll do all the die cutting at once. So a lot of Tailored Expression stamps are the red rubber. So that means that you take out your mouse pad or your grid paper pad if you have it in your MISTI. And pull in just a scrap here. I'm going to cut that down, though, to a square so it's easier to do what I want to. So this is about 4 3/4. So I'm going to cut it to 4 3/4 the other way. Don't forget, if you are joining us late, if you have a question for me, to type capital question in front of it, or you can tag me by starting to type in @CallMeCraftyAl and select my name from the list. That's going to help me see it. Like here, I just saw somebody has a question because they put the capital question. Susan says, anyone know if Spellbinders Advent pre-orders have started? Susan, I have not seen it, but as soon as I do, you know, as soon as I see there for pre-order, like even if like scrapbook.com or Spellbinders, I'm going to let you know, which brings me to something else. I have an email list, and so I sent everybody a notice yesterday that those Tailored Expressions Advent calendars were ready. And from time to time, I send, you know, other emails with what I'm working on, or if I have a live stream coming up. If you want to be added to that email list, let's see, I don't know if I've done it lately. If you go over to the community tab and scroll down a little bit, you're going to see like a get on my email list graphic. If you want to join it, do that. Now, if you can't find it and you want to join my email list, reach out and I can send you that link. My email address is always at the bottom of the description box. If you are on my email list, type email over in the chat. Okay. Let's see. Susan got my email about Tailored Expressions. Awesome. So many already on the email list. Love it. Thank you guys so much. I don't, some weeks I'll send out 2, and then sometimes I won't send out anything for a month. Really hit or miss on the emails. Oh, good. So many more of you are popping in saying that you're on the email list. Thank you so much. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set this hello, not that way, up in a corner. Hopefully that'll work. I'm hoping I cut this big enough. I don't know about that. We might have to stamp some more of these. We'll see. I was hoping that I could just rotate it and stamp one in each corner, but this one is kind of big. So I will ink this up. Let's stamp it. Okay. Now it's a little splotchy now, but it will kind of even out as it dries. I'm just going to rotate this. Ooh, I think, let's see if it's going to work. Yay, it's going to work. And now I'm just going to keep stamping and rotating until I have the 4 I need for my cards. I see some new friends are coming on. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for being here. If you're enjoying the stream, I hope you'll give it your stamp of approval by clicking on that like button. Tell I'm concentrating again because I get quiet. So you can kind of see here how well, and it's even, so this is the most recent one I stamped. You know, it's kind of splotchy, but here's the first one I stamped. It's already kind of evening out. So we got those. I'll clean that off later. And now I'm going to bring in my die cutter. Susan says, do you find that the stamp pressure tool thing helps with getting better impressions? I struggle with my stamping. Most definitely. The one that I used today, my sister Lisa Crafty Days, which by the way, we're going to be live on Sunday afternoon for another Oh So Inspired live. But my sister made me this, and it's just perfect. It's like a stair post, I think, you know, from like a you know, like Lowe's, Menards, those kind of places. It's perfect. She painted it and then just put some felt on the bottom, but it's just perfect to grab. Now, if you want one that's pre-made, I know that Etsy probably has some, but then Tailored Expressions also sells the Just Press tool, and I use that as well. And I like that. But yeah, I find just getting that extra kind of even pressure definitely has helped my stamping. Oh, speaking of Oh So Inspired Live, with my sister, Carmen says she has just submitted her ideas. So yes, if you've never joined us for an Oh So Inspired Live, my sister and I get together and we choose an inspiration piece live on camera that my channel members have submitted, and then we create something new based upon it. Now, if you join us as a live viewer, you can submit a sabotage, and it's just a fun little requirement we also have to add in to whatever projects we make. But yes, it's this Sunday at I think 2:30 p.m. Central. If you're just hanging out, I hope you'll watch or listen. We have lots of fun as we craft, chat with each other, chat with you. She is my older sister, so sometimes she likes to tell stories about growing up. So I hope you'll join us. You can definitely check out my channel under the live tab, and it will say it's upcoming, set a reminder. Or if I also am blasting it out on my community tab, so you can set a reminder using that as well. All right. Okay, let's do this. So inside the package with my stamp and die, I keep this right here. This is the negative of one of the cuts. And why I like to do that, which look how nicely that has all evened out. Why I like to do that is to get my die. I put it around what I have stamped, and then I can set my die down in that for die cutting. It just helps me. So I'm going to get that ready. And you know, oh, here it is. that piece of removable tape that I used earlier when cutting my cardstock or my pattern paper, I'm reusing that now to hold this in place. So I just figure out where it's even around what I have stamped. And then I just sit this right down on my bottom plate and then bring in my die. And now I'm going to place it down in that opening. You kind of wiggle it around, make sure it's not moving, and then you're probably correct. I'm going to use another piece of removable tape from there just to hold it in place in case it pops out on me. And then we can run this through. Kelly says that sounds fun. Hopefully about Oh So Inspired Live. It really is. I hope you can join us. And you know what? Even if you can't join us live, the replay will be available afterward. But if you do join us live, you can enter to win the cards we create. So there we go. Again, not perfect, but it's pretty darn close, right? That definitely helps. So now I can reuse the same pieces of tape. I'm going to remove my die from the frame and remove my negative from the cardstock and just do that same thing again. Kind of pulling it maybe out of camera, out of frame, just so I can see it better. If you die cut this piece out of a darker cardstock or a different color, it might help you see the outline better. But I must have just had white cardstock handy that day that I made this. And then I will reuse this negative until it's like falling apart. And I just keep it right there in the same package as my stamp and die, which I just totally moved my mat underneath me. Leave my die cutter there for now so that doesn't happen again. Carmen says she has to start thinking about a sabotage. Yes, we do always ask to keep them friendly. You know, like you might be like, you have to emboss now, or you have to use ribbon, or you have to use brads, or it could be a color that you have to use, or you can't stamp anything. They're just fun ones. Now, if you do something, we have had in the past, like you can't use like your dominant hand, or you can't use scissors. For things like that, we do usually limit the time frame. Like we might do that for 10 minutes or something, because we need our good hand to make a good card, right? But yes, anybody who watches us live can submit a sabotage. And then anybody also who watches us live and is there until the end can enter to win our cards. Then I will just put, which this is getting pretty sticky, but I then will just remove the tape from that and put this right back into my little package with my Hello stamp and die. And these pieces of tape I put right back on my die cutter to use later. Now I need going to get out a couple scraps of white, and let's see, what do they call this? Peekaboo honeycomb. This is the first time I have used this one, but I just love a honeycomb. And this, oh no, I guess it fits. I thought maybe these scraps wouldn't be big enough. I'm going to end up cutting these down, so even if it kind of hung off, that was okay. But I'm going to cut 2 of these, which, where did my other plate go? Oh, it's see-through clear right in front of me there, but I couldn't see it. Let's see. Susan says she loves how I'm using a smaller top plate and alternating directions. Yeah, I don't even own the big plates for this thing. I don't think. Yeah, I don't think I do. I think I've only ever had these little ones. Like even when I bought it, I think it came with the shorter ones. And of course, these are kind of easier to find and buy. So yeah. Sherry has a question. I've not seen anything in the chat to select and vote. Only your pin welcome. Sherry, you might have came in a little bit later. We have already voted. Oh, you guys. Oh, it doesn't cut out what I thought it did. It just cuts out that. That's a bummer. I have to sit here and think now. I have a drink of sodas. I think what I want to do. Give me some ideas now. What can we do? I thought that it cut out the outside frame too. Okay. Well, you know what? Hold on. Maybe I have an idea. Okay. What if I take like a circle die or punch and like just make like something like that? I would have to cut some more. What about that? And I see some people have suggested fussy cutting around it. If I was not live and, you know, nobody wants to sit here all day, I might try that. But because we're live, I want to go with something kind of quick and easy. So I think we'll do that. But now I have to decide. I think this punch is probably a little too small to go behind my hello. So I'm just going to bring in a die real quickly and see a good size circle to go behind my hello. Oh, I forgot. You know, we got to do this whenever I make a uh-oh. All right. This is probably about the same size as my If I do this size circle, I'm gonna, I think, have some areas where it won't be, you know, let's try this. Now I have all these hexagons here. Let's go ahead and try this. So I'm going to take my circle and that same piece of removable tape. Oh, good idea, Kristen. Making lemonade out of lemons, hexagon shaker bits. That's true. That's true. No, I don't like it where you can see that. So, okay. We're making it work, people. So I'm going to just just do that at the end because I think that's the area that I can use my punch on. And we're going to try this. Okay, let's see if I like this any better. We might just go to a hexagon die cut. I should have ran this back and forth. Oh. Eileen, welcome to membership.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your support. Make sure to check out the membership tab for current links to all your perks. Thank you. Okay, you know what? Oh, you guys. Okay. This happens to all of us, right? We have the best laid plans when we start a card or a project, and we just got to go with it. So what I want to do is look for my other shape. My other hexagons. All right, so I just got out some nesting hexagons. These are from like Quick Cuts or Lifestyle Crafts, which, you know, these things are super vintage. I don't know if either of those companies is still around. And what if we just die cut just a hexagon to go behind it? Maybe, you know, out of my favorite vellum. You know, guys, okay, we're going to go with this. I'm going to go over and get my scrap of vellum, and we're just going to do vellum hexagons. All right. You know, I love some vellum. I used it the other day, too, on my cards, and I'm just going to cut for this size. And later, I'm going to pick up hexagon confetti bits. Thanks, Eileen. Okay. Make sure if you did just join membership today, again, to check out the membership tab, and there should be a post. You might have to scroll down, but you can go ahead and enter inspiration pieces for Sunday's live stream. And there's a form you fill out, and it gives you some more specifics about what kind of links you can send in, but it's always fun to have your inspiration piece chosen. And I got asked the other day, what does an inspiration piece mean? And it could be a card that you found online. It just has to be in a public space. You know, don't link up to any groups that are private groups. I would like to be able to see like the blog or the Instagram post that it came from, just so we can give the original creator support. So you could do a card. Maybe somebody made a scrapbook page or a journal page that you like, because no matter what the inspiration piece is, kind of like with the Oh Inspired collab, we're all going to take something different from it to create a new project. Sorry, I had to get out my Allen wrench to tighten up my handle. It was about ready to pop off. Okay. All right. I think now I'm done with the die cutter. I want to put all my dies back in place so I don't lose them, because I've gotten kind of crazy now that we had to take a couple detours today as we crafted. Which is fine. Just make it work, right? We can switch our plans up. All right. Okay. Again, Maybe whoever wins this card, I will surprise them with some confetti in their envelope. And my bottom piece here got all askew earlier. Let me see if I can fix that. This cutting mat kind of helps me make sure I know where I'm at in frame. Okay. And for now, I have these little triangle trays. I'm just going to put all my little hexagons in there. Okay. Now, we can decorate these however we want, right? It does give suggestions on the card, like where you can put your sentiments. Some of them will kind of follow, others I'll just do my own thing. But I do want to make sure I have all of my pieces, all of my sentiments, and I don't really, you know what, I'm going to do this because I don't want to put it in the middle, because that, even though you can see, you know, some of the pattern paper through it, it does cover up. Well, I don't know. Let's see here. Let me put it on each place and look at it on camera. So there. What there? Oh, I actually think I like it up here. Let me know what you think. Should we have it centered or below? Centered or below? And I think I'll put my vellum piece just flat down and pop up my sentiment. All right, you know what, guys? I need to run upstairs for a second. So you know what? I am going to start a poll, and I should be back by the time it's finished. So do we want to center or below? And start poll. All right, guys, I will be back. If anybody joins, let them know that I'll be right back, and just go ahead and vote. All righty. Let's go ahead. We will end the poll. It was pretty close, you guys. It was pretty close. So 55% say to do it centered. So that is what I will do. While I was up there, I got a question from Sherry. Sherry says, is all your paper from Tailored Expressions? So most of the cardstock I use now is just because now that I'm on their design team, I have to use it so much for those projects. But I have, and this would be cardstock. Pattern paper they don't make anymore. But I have inks from Gina K, some cardstock from Gina K. Over with my pattern paper, I have random cardstock from like Michael's and Hobby Lobby and those kinds of places. All right. So what I'm going to do is I know that my hello will cover up the middle. So I'm going to put just a line of glue right across the middle there. And try to center this. All right. Maybe a little bit more there. I'm going to set this under a block to dry. I'm not going to put my hellos on yet because I want to put some foam tape on those. So that was card 1. We'll let that dry. Card 2. Card 2. Oh, we don't want to cover up our only little bee friend, or do we, since he's kind of chopped in half? Okay, we might have to do another poll, you guys. I kind of play with that, see what I think. Okay, you guys. I like my little bee friend, but he is kind of chopped up. I'm moving it around and looking in the camera. Because sometimes it's easier to see what it looks like up there on the screen. What about that? Then we have him just popping up right there. I kind of like that. I'm going to go with that. And that way he's just kind of popping up above it to say hello. And again, I'm going to let that dry. Okay, for number 3, I think we'll go a little bit maybe above center. And try to center it left to right. And again, our little friend will be just popping up right above it. Grab another stamp block. And finally, for this one, might kind of go down in the lower right. I like that. And kind of like on Monday, I will finish putting on the sentiments, and then I'll do the giveaway, and then I will like maybe add some sparkle, some bling afterward, and add a piece of white cardstock on the inside for the personal message. But today we'll at least get the sentiments put on. All right, now bring in, it's not so big anymore, but one of my big blue rolls of foam tape. These rolls start out just about this size. They are huge. And I'm going to put some on the back of these. Hopefully that'll go right there between the O. I get a few different sizes off Amazon. Different widths. I seem to have misplaced one of my hellos. Did anybody? Oh, no, there it is. It was hiding. But I was going to have to stamp another one. I think the size I'm using right now is 3/8 inches. And then, because this is too wide for my little riser of the H, or whatever that leg is called, I'm going to bring in Oh, here, this one's bigger. This is more what it starts out like. But this one is only, oh, let's get it in focus, 1/4 of an inch. So let's see if this will fit behind that H. And yes, it does. I'm just going to cut a little bitty piece. Put it behind there. Now, if you don't have foam tape to do this with, you could cut multiple just blank hellos and just stack them up behind it. But this is going to give the card a little dimension because right now it's mostly flat with the pattern paper and the vellum. Finally, this one. Now, one thing I like about this tape is sometimes it's hard to get the backing off, but really as long as you burnish this or like press it down, the release paper is easy to get off the foam tape. Now, I will tell you, it's not always easy to get off your fingers or your hands after you pull it up because it is pretty staticky, but it does come off pretty easily and it doesn't gum up my scissors. And I love that about it because I had gotten some different foam tape off Amazon and my non-stick scissors would not cut through it at all. It just got gummed up on there. All right, now you know what I'm going to do. So I'm going to bring in card number 1. And again, so I have some wiggle time to adjust this. Okay, so don't put yours on top of each other like I did. But so I have some wiggle time. And I put down some liquid glue too, right on top of both pieces of foam. And try to get that centered across there and straight. And again, because of the liquid glue on the foam, I can move it just a little bit if I need to. And there we go. Make sure if you are watching here with us live that you go ahead and subscribe if you're not already, because we will be doing the giveaway soon and you do have to subscribe to put a comment in the chat. Oh, welcome, Sarah. This is Sarah Liz from Sassy's LLC. If you do not already follow her channel, make sure to do that. All right. We've done quite a few lives together using Spellbinders products, and she lives right here in the same area I do. Maybe one day we'll get to meet in person. And if you are joining us late too, what we did today was instead of Monday, I stamped a half sheet of cardstock to make a happy half sheet cards. And today I used pattern paper just so we could see the difference. And I have to say, I've enjoyed both. I will share both of the sets I've made in my lives this week once these are all in place. Oh my goodness, this hexagon, it is definitely not straight across. We're going to have to try to cover that up somehow. Don't look too closely. It's a little tilted. And then here we go. And if you want to get, oh my goodness, if you want more information on the Happy Half Sheets, check out the links in the description box, or Nightbot has been putting it over in the chat every once in a while. There are 5 cards, and they each show you how to make 4 to 5 cards depending on the sketches from one half sheet of cardstock, or like we did today, patterned paper. And again, after the live is over, I'm gonna, embellish these and add that piece on the inside for the personal message. But let me show you. So here is today's set. Oh my goodness, you guys, these are so cute. I love the bee paper. I'm so glad that you guys chose that one. I would have liked to do the happy birthday one too, but I'm definitely glad this was chosen. So here are our 4 today. And it used this card from Happy Half Sheets Volume 2, okay? And the other side has the cutting guides. So yeah, and they're laminated. So going to make them nice and durable. So there were the cards today. And I'll get back out the 5 cards I made Monday, which this video is linked below in my playlist. But the 5 cards that we made, actually, let's go ahead and move these out of the way up here. So for these cards, instead of using pattern paper, I stamped an 8.5 by 5.5 inch sheet and then cut that apart. So either way you want to do this, totally fun. You know, you can jazz them up as much as you want by embellishing them. You know, today I added some mats and some cardstock strips beside the pattern pieces. You know, make these cards your own. But now, guys, now is the time that you definitely want to be subscribed to my channel, okay? Because we are going to do a little giveaway. You do have to be live. You do have to be subscribed, because right now, to leave comments in the chat, just to help with moderation and just so we don't get any trolls or mean people, it is on subscribers only. And you have to be subscribed for 2 minutes to be able to chat. But hopefully you're down there clicking on that subscribe button. While you're down there clicking on subscribe, if you haven't yet already, please click on that thumbs up button. That is always appreciated. But what we're going to do here in a minute, I'm going to tell you how you're going to enter. And then I want you to kind of have in your head, would you like card 1, card 2, card 3, or card 4? Because you will need to tell me live while we're on here. And then I'm going to put your name on it with a little sticky note so I know that it goes to you. And then I will also tell you how you're going to claim it if you are the lucky winner today. Now, if you've won a card in the past, you can still enter today. Maybe if you've won a card within the last month, maybe let somebody else, but I don't have any hard and fast rules about that. So be thinking now, would you want card 1, 2, 3, or 4? And now I'm going to tell you how you're going to enter to win. So in the chat box, one time, I want you to type in #crafty, #CRAFTY. Just like it shows on screen. There are no spaces, and you do have to have that hashtag. Now, there's no need to type it in like 10 times to get 10 entries, because you won't. It does just give each username 1 entry. But if you look up and you notice, oh no, I put a space or I left out the T, go ahead and retype it and get your entry. But please do not spam the chat with Crafty. I'm going to give you 2 minutes to get that hashtag in, and then we will pick our lucky winner. Again, be thinking about which card you would like. And whoever the winner is will let me know, and then I'll tell them how to claim the prize. Once things slow down, if you have any final questions for me, final comments, anything about today's live stream or other crafty stuff, go ahead and put those in the chat. And don't forget, if you do have a question for me, to go ahead and type question in caps or tag me in that so it's easy for me to find. I'll leave that up for a minute while everybody gets in their #crafties, and you can be anywhere on this planet to receive this card. Oh, and let me know too. Now that you've seen both sets, you guys, I'm gonna have another poll. Which was your favorite? Stamped pattern? Stamped pattern set or the patterned paper set? And you know what? I'll add an option. Can't love them both, just in case. But for me, if I were being honest, I love, you know me and pattern paper. So my favorite are probably the pattern papers. They are a little bit easier because you don't have to stamp your own. But I think they're both cute, but I really did enjoy using pattern paper today. So let me know in the poll which was your favorite. It will be our last poll for the day. And we have 6 seconds to get that hashtag crafty in. So do hashtag CRAFTY. All right. So that was our timer. I'm going to go over and make sure that our entries don't go up any. I'm going to give them just a little bit of time. All right, it is pretty steady at 34, so let's go ahead and find out who our lucky winner is. Now, you might not see your name on screen, but all 34 of you are entered. It shows maybe 20 names. Congratulations to Becky. Becky, didn't you become a paper trimmer level member today? Or did you upgrade? Yes. Yay. Congratulations. So, Becky, what you'll need to do down toward the bottom of the description box is a link to a Google form, and you will need to go fill that out. And you'll want to make sure, let me bring that back on screen. You'll want to make sure when it asks for the username that you put that Becky Wilson on there, because sometimes, like if you leave a comment below, the username's different. So just make sure that we get that, and you'll let me know which card you want, which, by the way, let me know, do you want card 1, 2, 3, or 4? And I will get your name added to it. And I do want to take a minute to say thank you to everybody who joined me today. Thank you to everybody who was here the whole time, which, by the way, if you were here the entire time, put a 10 over in that chat. I do appreciate each and every one of you being here. I wish I had a card for all of you, but that could get crazy, right? But I wish all of you could win, but I hope that Becky enjoys her card. I'll be keeping an eye out. Becky, if I missed which card you want, will you type that back in, because that chat has flown. I'm seeing lots of 10s, 9, 9.5. That means you're here almost the whole time. Becky. Yeah, Becky, let me know which card you want, if you'll retype that in if I missed it. Okay, Becky wants card number 2. So Becky, I am putting your name right inside this little guy right here. Make sure to fill out that form that I told you about. You do have 24 hours to do that. Then I will close the form until my next live. So should we find out before we go? Don't forget, if you have any last minute questions. I like some 9. I like how you're putting in your 9, your 9.5. Even if you've just been here for the giveaway at the end, I do appreciate you. But those who have stuck it out like the whole time or almost all, they're extra appreciated. Oh, you guys, here, let's end this poll and see. Oops. All right. So 51% of you say you love them both. 41% say pattern paper, and 7% say stamped. So if you're not a fan of making your own pattern cardstock like we did on Monday, which it is fun, but you can still get the happy half sheets and use them with your favorite pattern papers. Just keep in mind, like I messed up today, and some cards you'll have to rotate the pieces. So make sure to keep that in mind when you're doing the cutting. But again, in case you came in late, I got to get back over here. So originally, card number 4 was supposed to be horizontal, but because of the way my pattern paper was that it couldn't be rotated, it did have a direction. I ended up making it portrait. Nobody is going to know, right? And these are going to be great if you want to build up your own card stash for mailing. If you like to give gifts of card sets, these are great. And also, I know many of you tell me that you donate your cards. So these would be great for donation too. They're super quick and easy. Just like with the sheet load, you cut your papers, you put them together, and you got some great quick and easy cards. So I do not see any final questions, guys. So thank you. 2 hours. Thank you so much for being here. I got hair all over myself. I really appreciate it. So glad that you joined me. And like I always say, guys, until my next video, I hope you're all having a crafty day. Bye-bye.